Hey, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning in to our 95th episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week, we are spilling the tea and talking about whether one can move from New York to Arizona in less than 5 days. Y'all should know the answer to that. But
that's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question, but we're here to dive through those layers. But before we get to them, a couple of questions to ask. First, have you subscribed to WokeNFree on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, or even via email? If not, please go to WokeNFree.com and please select a new platform that you can follow us and subscribe to the show on. That way, you're getting us from all different angles and you're up to date with everything that we're doing. Next, have you shared an episode with friends and family? So many people are really interested with the idea of what it takes to move across cross country. So this would definitely be a great episode to share with them and give them that insight and entertainment value when it comes to this conversation. So hold on tight to your chairs, ladies and gentlemen. Next, have you hollered at us on social media? We'd love to hear kind of thoughts that are going through your head. If you have breaking news, if you have topic ideas, you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even YouTube at WokeNFree. And then have you reviewed the show? Again, guys, you know the deal with podcasts. It's all about people tuning in and making sure that they're giving their feedback, that we're feeding you, our community, as much as you're feeding us. So we would greatly appreciate a review on any of the platforms that you see us on. So whether it's iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, or any of the other platforms at WokeNFree.com, we greatly appreciate your support and love of the show.
Each week, we like to share a little bit about us before we dive into the topic for the episode. Last week, we shared, it's healthy snack time, what do you choose? This week, we are sharing, if you had a chance to change your height, would you be taller or shorter?
So really the deep stuff here.
This is a good one. It tells a lot about your personality type, depending on what you choose.
Well, you're going to hate my answer because I am a 5'8", and I decide to be taller.
No, you don't. Why are you lying to the WokeNFree family?
I want to be taller.
You want to take
because
a couple inches off.
Because my wide hips and my big behind needs it.
No, Tosh, you want to be shorter.
The taller, the better.
You want to be 5'2".
No, I love meeting women who are like, oh, I'm 6 feet or I'm 6'2", and they're just gorgeous, just statuesque, beautiful women. I love it. Go ahead and live your life. So
I don't believe you're telling this good joke. Okay.
What lies and fairy tales you tell? What's your answer?
Mine is I'd be 6.5 inches taller.
Oh, someone who's already 6 feet tall. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, because I need a little bit more so I can reach those apples that are too high for me to reach now.
No,
I might get the apples off the tree. Just think about that. It's a very important dilemma that I face, not daily, but sometime in my lifetime I may face that.
I'm so glad you asked this question.
Yeah, it's a good one. See, now you know that I'd actually like to be taller. You thought I'd want to be shorter.
Let's move the train out of the station now.
See what you thought? I thought you would say you'd want to be shorter. That's what it made sense, but you actually.
I wonder if next week you're asking if we shave our right leg or left leg first.
If you had to shave a leg, which leg would you shave? See, that's not come on now. We got to ask things that they can't even guess the answer to.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't guess the answer to these ones. I couldn't guess.
Well, there's only 2 answers, so they'd be 50%.
Some people might say they love their height and they can't choose.
Oh, that they abstain.
Yeah, some people would actually just stick with what they have. So
that's true.
There are people like that.
Well, I'm trying to answer the question, not be difficult.
I think most people would choose taller, probably, though. I mean, but there are the tall people probably would choose shorter. You know, if they're like super tall.
The grass is always greener.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. So if you're really tall and you have to duck to get through doors, then you're probably the one who said, I wish I was shorter so I didn't have to duck my head to get through doors.
I just say live a bigger life. Just buy a mansion.
No, but then if you go into an ordinary store, you always end up into the same place where you got to duck your head to get through the door.
Thank God for Amazon Prime.
All right, so now you can't go certain places
Yeah, you get to live in your mansion instead.
And then if someone invites you to their home, you can't go because you
have
to duck
them
your
come
head.
to your mansion.
You're saying that, but that's not always an option. Jeff Bezos, he might have a little party and you can't go to it because you'll be ducking through all the doors.
You'll have to duck through the damn doors then.
See?
Live your life.
Or you could have just chucked the 2 inches off, like got plastic surgeon to chop off.
Is the train leaving the station yet?
No, this is a lifelong question. We're teaching people what they should answer.
You're inciting me to pursue physical violence towards you.
Towards me, wow. Now people know how the Jamaican in you comes out.
Exactly. They wonder why I haven't smacked you up already. Right.
Oh, wow. Such violence towards your husband. That's very crazy.
It works both ways.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. Now we're just going to have to move on.
Now the train moves.
Now
right?
we're moving on from that one.
Okay, gotcha.
Speaking of moving on.
That's a
Speaking
good one.
of moving on.
That's a good one.
Yep. Can you move from New York to Arizona in less than 5 days?
Well, given that we are sitting in Arizona and we moved in 4.5 days with ourselves, our demon cat, and our sweet dog, the answer is definitely yes. But I would say it is literally one of the craziest things we've ever done in our lives. How about them apples?
You're right about that. It's definitely not easy. But the reason that I know you could do it in less than 5 days, and the reason for many things and how you can figure out the answer to many things is Google Maps, actually.
True.
Google Maps said you could do it, so
shout out to
I believe
Google
them.
Maps. Yes.
They actually said you could do it in like 3 days, but that's...
Well, they weren't talking about a cat and a dog and also all the stuff we came with. So.
And they didn't think about sleep either.
True. Be like, you can just drive forever.
So they're thinking if you have like a self-driving car, then this is how long it will take.
If you're in a Tesla, yes.
Yeah. I don't even know if that... I don't think you could even do it in that.
Don't you have to charge that sucker?
Yeah. And you're going to have to stop for like at least a minimum of 2 hours to get like a 60% charge.
Ouch.
But... yeah, that's...
and they can only go like 200 miles at a time, right?
No, they go farther.
Oh, okay.
They have longer ranges than that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Now they do.
Now, what would you say are the most memorable lessons that you have learned from our trip from New York to Arizona?
I learned some life lessons, I would say. And let's go through them. The first one is towing a car behind a 26-foot truck across the country is painful. Torrential rainstorms can and will happen in Midwestern states. Animals will get used to traveling, even if they're used to living a sedentary lifestyle. Caffeine can allow you to drive over 10 hours a day. I learned that. I didn't know it was true, but it definitely helped me through the day. And I think it helped you too.
True.
I learned that OKC is not the city for me. And I learned that... Yep.
You don't even want to spell that out for the WokeNFree family, huh?
Well, people know where OKC is in Oklahoma City. They know that.
Right.
They know about that in Oklahoma. They know what that's about. They might not know what the lifestyle is about, and maybe I didn't see enough of it, but at least the part I saw was not really upbeat.
For you. Yeah.
And then a big thing, and I see this is just like something left open, is there's not enough pet-friendly hotels.
True that.
I think that's an issue.
Well, driving east to west, I think if we stay west, there are probably more.
You think so?
But we have to explore.
Even along the East Coast, I don't think you can just... If you go to...
that's what I'm saying. The east and the middle part of the country, not necessarily.
But you think the West Coast might have a lot?
But we have to see, yeah.
I just know there's a need, though, for that. I mean, I think technically 95% of hotels should be pet-friendly, because it's not like they don't charge you a fee or anything.
They do.
Yeah, they charge you for that. So
you gotta pay to play with that.
They can recoup their costs for that. Like, that's what I think's funny about it. I think there should be more that are pet friendly.
All right, that is very true. And do you want to explain when you mean towing? Because we didn't actually tow a car after behind a 26-foot truck.
Yeah. So, but if you are gonna tow a car behind a 26-foot truck, just realize if most of the places you rent from will want you to tow at the speed limit of 55 miles per hour. So I just imagine doing that trek when you're on a road that's a 70 mile per hour speed limit and everybody's doing 80. You're doing 55. Just think about that. It's that is not going to be easy. I know we didn't do it, but just thinking about the thought of having to do that would have been crazy.
And not possible to do within a less than 5 day
trip.
Yeah,
it would have made the trip much longer.
Not for 2,400 miles,
Yeah, that's just a crazy idea. Maybe you can do it like for a couple hundred miles, but you're not doing that for 1,000 miles. Like that's just ridiculous. Especially the truck itself is already a big thing. Now you've got an extension to that. Come on. That's not fun.
And guys, if you have not driven a 26-foot truck, you are in store for a hell of a time and experience. And if you have more questions and you're like, I want to know more, we want to hear from you. Please put in the comments additional thoughts that you may have. If you're thinking about moving, if you're thinking about a cross-country trip, given our breadth of experience, because actually we've been doing quite a bit of long-distance driving since we've made our foray into the West Coast, let us know in the comments at WokeNFree.com. So now, when it comes to my memorable experience, let's see. And I'm not going to use curse words. Okay.
It was driving the 26-foot truck.
Yeah, you wish, guys. I was driving my car while my beautiful husband next to me was driving this 26-foot truck. Like I've never seen anybody drive a 26-foot truck. This man was trucking. In all the sense of that word.
All right, come on now.
You were trucking, and I was driving my car with our pets, and this is what I learned. Driving for 12 hours a day is no easy feat. You literally have to put on your Superman cape and go with it, and maybe sometimes pretend that you're flying, because that is a hell of a drive. Our cat is really a demon from hell who enjoys screaming as much as possible in a vehicle. And so imagine, guys, doing that for 10 to 12 hours a day. Fun times. While our dog is a silent angel from heaven who is #unbothered. Look out for more about JJ in our WokeNFree reports. Yep. So I had the devil and the angel sitting with me while doing this. America is filled with so many beautiful places to see. And I don't know how you guys feel about kind of flat lands and farms and cowsies and horsies and donkeys and all of those good things. But, we really enjoy seeing different types of terrain and different types of environments. And I thought it was spectacular and stunning and just something that everyone should see. I know not everyone would do that trip, but it is quite miraculous. People who refuse to leave New York are really missing out. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid, guys. There's more to the world outside of New York. And I'm telling you that concrete jungle ain't got nothing when it comes to the West Coast. If you want to see beauty, if you want to see luxury and opulence, come to the West Coast. It's stunning. Beautiful, guys. We also saw how people live differently. Like, I didn't know that there were shanties in America, but there are shanties here.
Yeah, come on. You should know
I thought that only existed like in back home, like in the Caribbean, but there are shanties here.
No, because we saw historic towns too. They look like old Midwestern places.
Yes, where I felt like we really needed to get our cowboy hat and shoes on, but we didn't have time for that because we were driving. But yeah, there are different ways, different strokes for different folks is an actual like factual statement.
That is true, yeah.
You mentioned it before. Rainstorms in New Jersey, Missouri, Nevada are nuts and bolts. And I'm just going to pray for those states because those storms were crazy. When we say storms, you can totally ask more questions in the comments, but we're talking about like thunder and lightning and can't see outside your window, torrential rain. Never seen something like that before outside of, I guess, when we were in Penn State and we were driving that one time. Yeah. But crazy. Also, driving through some states really do seem like it takes forever. Like you feel like you've been driving for 24 hours when it's only been like 5. So just keep in mind, time really escapes you when you go on a long distance drive. Also, driving at night isn't fun unless you're probably a vampire. So I learned that, which is something I've known, but it really got emphasized to me recently. Driving up and down mountains at night in Arizona will terrify you in the best way because it will make you feel like the most experienced driver ever. I've been driving, it's going to be over 10 years now, and it's going to be how long now? 14, 15?
It might be
16, is it?
Yeah.
16 years. So yeah, for me, you literally can't even get tired at certain points in the drive because you could just fall off a cliff or a mountain. So it will keep your cheeks quite tight for a while is how I'll describe it. Also, shout out to Red Roof Inn because they were a hotel that we did use several times because they provide affordable, safe places for you and your pets. So yay Red Roof Inn.
Good franchise.
Yeah, great franchise. We definitely will shout you out in the episode as well. Also, what's interesting, and I forgot about this, gas prices really differ in different parts of the country. There was one part, I forget if we were, I think maybe it was in Oklahoma. Maybe Oklahoma, where I filled up my car for only $20. That was like score.
Oh yeah, it was really cheap.
Score. Yeah, it was like $2.50 per gallon or whatever. Like, unlike, sadly, Arizona, you're a little bit higher than I would like, but you know, it's okay. And then shout out to Sonic and Jack in the Box, because y'all just gave us some yummy food that we really love. And for y'all in New York, you don't know what Jack in the Box is, come further west and you will experience something that will get your mouth tantalized.
But Sonic had a great drink too. They had the Red Bull slushy, and that gave me that caffeine fix that I needed. So definitely was helpful along the trip.
For sure. We got to shout these places out.
Yeah, good job, Sonic. Now, what are the biggest considerations for moving across the country?
All right, so you guys are ready for another list? Let's go.
Oh, really?
If you're making a big move like this, there's a couple of things you need to consider. First, how long do you have to do this? For us, we actually needed to move in less than 5 days. And so, you know, the joy and thrill of doing it was more like an actual compliance that we needed to fulfill. So we did it, and it was tough, but it was remarkable and beautiful and unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Yeah.
For sure. Also, who's going with you? Are you going to also drive with a demon and an angel like I did? Or are you, do you have friends or family, you know, who also, yeah, you really want to not have backseat drivers with you on that kind of road because it'll get just too nutty. So think about really who's making the trip with you. Have you mapped out your trip, right? For us, because we were just getting things together and just trying to get there, we kind of had to like map it out along the way. But I would say if we were to do that again, maybe mapping it out in advance would have helped us and maybe provided a little bit more comfort and ease. Because also, guys, remember, he was driving a 26-foot truck, which cannot go on all roads.
Yeah.
You gotta know what
just starting
roads
the trip
can you
was
go.
tough.
Yeah. Like, where can you literally drive? So think about that. Are you good at long distance driving, and or can you do it, right? Some people think they can do it, and then 2 hours in, they gotta pee, they gotta sleep, they want to check out Netflix. Wait a minute. If you have to do 12 hours a day, can you do 12 hours a day? If not, maybe think other alternatives for yourself. Do you have a good playlist for the trip? For me, I was Jamaica all day, every day. So that was phenomenal. But definitely you want to have something tuning in that can help get you excited for the hours that you have to drive. How often do you need to use the bathroom? For us, I think we didn't use the bathroom more than twice a day, really. I mean, unless we had to.
Twice a day. We didn't stop just for bathroom. We stopped for gas.
Yeah, we only stopped for gas. So I think we stopped in total like no more than 4 times a day. Yeah. And then bathroom had to go with it, right? So you got to really be very methodical, very strategic about your urination and other. And it's something else. And then also, how confident of a driver are you? So we saw different driving styles in different states. People who drive in New York, sadly, are similar to the people who drive out here in Arizona. Y'all are aggressive as hell. Y'all are not messing around with anybody. You're taking no prisoners.
Yeah, you're trying to get there.
Yeah, you're trying to get there, and you're not signaling, and you're, you know, I mean, the only difference here, no, they actually might do the finger here too, yeah.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know. But we saw in California that guy who gave a finger.
California, yeah, that's different now.
But we'll see. I haven't yet to see someone who's like, F you, like they are in New York.
No, I don't think they do that. Well, we'll see.
But we'll see, yeah. And then also, can you push past pain? For me, I experience a lot of pain and cramping because when you sit for 12 hours, right, what happens to your legs and your veins? Things aren't moving. Fluid starts to build up. It's a whole situation. So just those are some of my considerations that I came across from the drive. But what about you?
You are listening to WokeNFree.
WokeNFree. WokeNFree.
WokeNFree.
WokeNFree.
A podcast that is real and honest.
Well, one thing you probably should have considered even before those other things is how are you getting there? Because not everybody would do the drive. Some people might just go right to the plane trip.
True.
So I think that's the first consideration when moving across the country. The next thing, you kind of hinted at this, but I would say specifically, do you need all your stuff? So are there things that you can get rid of? Are there things that you're just willing to rebuy?
Yeah.
Like, definitely consider that, because you might not want to ship your stuff or even bring your stuff with you. It might just be junk at that point, and it might not be needed where you're going even. You got to think about that.
You don't need this where you're going.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we did the same thing. We brought stuff here that we actually didn't need because we just didn't spend the time to do that, to go through our stuff.
And purge enough. Yeah.
So we had a lot of stuff here that we are actually getting rid of, and it didn't need to be brought. Mm-hmm. Another thing I would ask that I think is important is, what does your finances look like?
What that bank account look like?
Yeah, you have to ask that.
How your bank work?
Yeah, because you got to know how you're paying for all of this.
Oh, guys, this is a multi-$1,000 adventure that you're going to be going on. It's expensive to rent a truck. It's expensive to gas a truck. It's expensive to...
Well, just to move your...
the whole thing.
You're saying truck, but just... Either way, regardless,
or fly, train, bus, any of it.
Flying's fine, but when you want to move all that stuff, you're going to be spending money. Depending on how much you're moving, you're going to be spending money. There's no way around it.
And there's also like a lot of shady movers that you have to look out for, because there are people who are still trying to call me, trying to be like, we can move your stuff, and it's like, too late, guys.
Yeah, after a period of time, they shouldn't just say.
But they call you and call you and call you, because there's like brokers, like these companies that work with brokers who are trying to. They won't move you, but they'll hire someone else to move you. And
well,
yeah.
In terms of shipping a car, I had to use a broker because they were saying just to talk to the shipping companies is a hard feat, and to get them to lock down a date. So the brokers kind of like, they make it easy to lock down a date and a price. If you deal with the shippers, you just got to hope you're dealing with somebody reputable, and it's not actually easy to find shippers that will meet your deadlines.
Yeah.
With the broker, they can contact multiple people in a small amount of time and get your car shipped where you want. So in terms of maybe you don't want to use a broker when you're moving your stuff, but moving your car or your vehicle, that they worked out for me fine, to be honest. You got to pay a fee for it, but at least it did work out. It wasn't as perfect and smooth as I would have wanted it to go, but it still worked out.
Absolutely. But I think, the most surprising thing is how much everything adds up. I mean, guys, the numbers go real quick. Before you know it, you're like, ¿Qué pasó? Like, I'm sorry. I misheard you. Is this pesos? Because it's not pesos, baby. So it's, definitely what that bank looked like.
Rupees.
Rupees.
It's rupees.
How wonderful.
So see, if it's in that, then it's easier to swallow then.
Easier to swallow.
Yeah.
What are you insinuating, Khalil?
It's easier to swallow the price, I'm saying. I'm moving. I don't know what you're insinuating. It's weird. You have a strange mind, is what I can say.
I'm brilliant.
Are you so brilliant that you think everybody can make such a big move?
I'm so glad that you asked, dearest. Anything is possible. Anything, guys, right? However, do I think everyone would want to make this move? No. I do think people are caught on that Kool-Aid where they're like, I'm never leaving New York. I left New York. And that's cool. You can be miserable. Stay your miserable ass there.
It's better, but would they be better in Boston, though?
To be more miserable?
No, to be even happier. Because Boston is a family.
Yeah, I'm just not going to speak
don't like
on
the East
that.
Coast,
No,
right.
I'm not a fan of the East Coast because I'm not a fan of freezing weather.
But you say that, but then you can go in the South as well, though. Southeast is still exists.
And then you get something that comes in white robes.
You can get that in other places,
If
too.
I maybe wasn't a person of color, sure.
right.
But as a person of color, no. That doesn't
Man,
work quite for
Miami's
me.
a melting pot. I don't know what you're saying.
So is New York.
That's in a different way, though.
Exactly. I don't like that term. To me, it implies something else. That they'll melt you alive.
Oh, like to make good chocolate, right?
Like
good
in,
dark roast.
Us, the tethered people will come for you.
They didn't make dark chocolate in that.
No, but they did eat bunnies.
Come on, you have to be nice to them. Bunnies are nice and soft.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you are itching to see something new, to experience something new in your life, definitely consider it. But before you move, obviously visit and take a look, take a gander, see if it's something that you could see for yourself. But being that we have just moved, It's anything's better for us than New York because it's much better weather. It's much calmer, and our setup, we just really liked it, and you just get a lot more bang for your buck out here. So definitely, I would say think about it if you're open to it. If you're not open and you're stuck in your place of negativeness, then live your life. But being that you listen to Woke and Free, I highly doubt that you would be that person. But what do you think?
I think no. Not everybody can make this big move. There's too many risks that a lot of people aren't willing to take.
Sure.
So they're not going to have the opportunity to move. They always say that, things got to line up perfectly for them, and that's not going to happen.
Well, yeah, definitely not.
They want things to be in alignment.
They
want like sureness. They want things to be put in place. They want everything to fall in line and all expenses paid, all that kind of stuff, and that's not going to happen. So they just end up not moving. They set up these unrealistic barriers, and they make it so it's never going to happen. So I don't think a lot of people are going to do the big move.
True. I mean, it's similar to people who go out to LA, with $500 or $50 in their pocket. I think if you're moving to the West Coast, you're moving out on a dream and a hope and a prayer, and you understand that, there's risk involved, but the risk of not living the life you want is even greater, and it's too much to bear if you really think about it.
Yeah, it doesn't, the only way I would say, I guess you shouldn't take the risk is if you believe you live in 30,000 lives and there's no effect of one life on the other. They're all separate. Because then technically, you can live a life of unriskiness. Then the next life you can live risky.
Like,
the only problem is, what if you're the person who always lives the unrisky life? So you live 1 million unrisky lifestyle. So that's why you're probably just better off taking the risk, because you don't know if you'll ever be able to experience that. So you need to just do it now.
You never know unless you try. And the minute we got here, I just felt like a wave of just like, thank you, God, but then also just like, yes, like we accomplished this, we did this, we're exhausted, but we are free. Free from the escapes of New York and everything that comes with New York. And not that New York is awful, but it has a lot of like unsavory things that I wanted us to get away from, and you as well agreed, and so au revoir.
Well, yeah. I'm not like mad at New York. I'm just finished with New York. That's what I would say.
True. Like, it's been real.
Yeah, I've experienced a lot of that has to offer. Not everything, but a lot, and it's been fun. I'll visit New York, but I don't need to live there. Like I don't have to.
I agree. I just don't think living in New York isn't for us.
If I want to see a Broadway show, I'll go and do that, but I don't need to live in it to experience it.
Yeah, no,
tourists do that all the time. I'll just be one of the tourists now.
True.
Native New Yorker, but don't have to live there.
True. Exactly.
That's where I go. Don't have to experience all the weather mishaps they have either. So many of them. And I think it's that time, guys. It is scenario time. Scenario 1. April plans to drive her Tesla Model X across country without spending a dime on electricity. Is this possible, or will she need to rethink her plans?
So this is a shout out to Tesla to come on Woke and Free and share how their Model X works, huh?
Well, whenever you think of road tripping, you got to think of the Tesla Model X.
The $160,000 vehicle you're talking about?
Well, if you're talking about the final cost with everything included with taxes and all that stuff. But there's rebates, so you might be able to chop off like $5,000 off of that.
Lovely.
It might be $10,000. I don't know. The rebates are going away though, so yeah, it could be close to that.
I mean, Tesla, you're always welcome to come on and share your thoughts with us. But I think, for my understanding through you, I believe that it would be a possibility as long as they have charging stations along the path, the beaten road that she's going. But if they don't, then no, she would need to rethink her plans. Your thoughts?
My thoughts is she definitely can do this, because that was one of Tesla's things, is that they provided these supercharging plants across the country and said you can go across from East Coast to West Coast for free on their charging network.
Okay.
And then one thing I'll say now is that they've been expanding their network, so now you probably can do it and not only take one route. Because I think before you kind of like had to drive out of your way to get to their station.
Yeah.
But now with all their added stations, now you can charge like anywhere basically.
Oh, cool.
They have like a lot of different places. I think some of the towns we went through didn't have the chargers, but they were historic towns. Like, let's get real. Sure. They're not going to have it there.
Historic mean they needed to die.
They lived their best life at one point. That's what it meant.
It's like, where were the dinosaurs, guys?
This see, we saw some T-Rex bones there. It was good. So
good lord,
those aren't going to have the Tesla charging stations.
They didn't even have electricity. No.
Hey, that's messed up. Don't say that.
You were wondering if they had water, Khalil.
Well, I told you, yeah. Some of these places were far from any civilization too. So I don't know how they were living because I didn't see any. Like electric
on a hope and a prayer.
That's just crazy how some of these towns are. You would be surprised if you haven't seen them before.
True that.
They do still exist till this day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, scenario 2. Josh has 8 pit bulls he wants to bring with him on his road trip to Alaska. He loves them all a bunch and would never put them on an airplane or leave them to a shipping company. What is the best way he can accomplish moving his big family?
The Tesla Model X. Really? 8 pit bulls? Really?
Yeah, there's a reason for that. Think about it.
Because they're going to be sleigh dogs?
No, the biggest issues. Remember, so now he has 8 of them, and they're pit bulls. Mm-hmm. Where is a pet-friendly hotel that's going to allow 8 pit bulls in your stay? There's 0.
Well, they might just eat him at the end, and he might not have to worry about nothing.
He loves them a bunch,
Joking. Yeah. Pit bulls are beautiful, guys. Stop with the breed discrimination. It's bull. They're sweet chunchies.
Which is that's a real thing, that breed discrimination even in the hotels.
Yeah, well, good luck keep trying to rent an apartment with 8 pit bulls. You're going to be living in your cardboard box with those bulls.
Is that what you suggest for him to get across the country? Is to put himself in a cardboard box and ship them all in a huge cardboard box?
Smart. Him
included?
No.
He'll hide in there and he'll look out through the peepholes? I told you he needs to get
his Tesla Model X and put them suckers in there.
So they're going to sleep in there too then?
Yeah, they better open up a window.
And who's going to walk them?
They need to walk themselves. They need to be a tribe.
Maybe the Model X can walk them.
Oh, jeez.
See, maybe that can happen.
Are they going to have self-walking robots now?
Of course they are.
I can't with life.
Eventually, you need a robot that can walk your dog, yeah. Who else is going to be doing that?
Amazing. All right. I don't know. We're just going to pray for Josh. What do you think?
I think he has to buy an RV, I think.
Probably. Oh, that would be a good one. Yeah.
Because then he could keep all of them in there, and he can walk. I guess he can walk 4 at a time. I don't know if he can walk 8 at a time. But then he doesn't have to worry about where he brings them, and he can drive across country easily.
Churchies, Barbies.
It's going to be expensive in gas, and you gotta buy that RV. That's expensive too.
I'm going to pray for him. Yeah.
Good luck. I mean, I think that's.
But he loves his punch. So bad.
That's the 8 of them. See.
Hey, the Barbies. Yes.
They're good Barbies.
They're good Barbies.
Okay, if you say so. As long as they're good. Mm-hmm. Scenario 3. Leonidas is an aspiring actor who has been working a job just to make ends meet. He recently found an audition that calls to him, but it is located on a different coast to him. If he tries out for the role, he will have to relocate there regardless if he gets the part because his lease is up soon. Should Leonidas try out for this role, or is it too risky?
I mean, first of all, he needs to change his name. That can't be his stage name.
His real name he can't use?
No, he can be Leo, but he's not Leonidas.
Oh, he can't be the full Leonidas? Oh, all right.
You have to remember sex appeal, guys. You're sex
That's
appeal.
Not a sexy name?
Okay.
It seems appealing. It seems like a soap opera name.
Okay.
Oh, that's all your comment is?
Interesting.
Oh man, that's so messed up of you.
But that's an interesting conundrum to be in, right? Because this idea, like, do you move on the hope and a prayer that you get it, even though you don't have the certainty, which is what all human beings want, and we can't achieve because there's nothing certain in life, and we keep bouncing around trying to get something that we can't get. So my advice would be, to maybe work on essentially probably moving out there. If that's where this role is going to be, if that's where potential other opportunities could line up for him as well, if he can financially swing it, then go for it, because the risk of not going for it will make him regret that decision. Because what if he did get the role, and what if that role led to something else, and what if that role led to him being on screen with that name on the credits, right? And obviously Leo,
Nidus.
Leo.
Nidus.
And go ahead, Leo, do your thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's not too risky. He needs to just try out, because he really wants to be an actor. He doesn't want to continue in his dead-end job. Like, you're going to have to go for it. Mm-hmm. It seems like the opportunity. Listen to the universe. It seems like it's calling out to you. You better just listen and go get that job.
That's why I say just get...
Envision yourself doing it. Like, just
See it
really
happening.
get into it. Yeah. Envision the practice that you have to do and all the work you're going to have to put in for this role. And then you'll get it because you're already living that role.
Absolutely.
So then it'll fall into your lap.
Absolutely, guys. Remember, check out our episode on The Secret, and we'll definitely have to do another episode just to rehash because, everybody forgets things, and we want to make sure that you are practicing The Secret and Law of Attraction because it's how you change your life. But remember, at the end of the day, thoughts become things. So if you can envision it, if you can dream it, if you can see it, it can be your reality. But you've got to be willing to act. That's like 50% of the battle. And then, plan and strategize and hustle and make sure your story's out there. And like I said, have that sexy name, Leo.
All right. We'll let the Woke and Free family decide if his name should change.
In the comments, guys, should it be a Leonidas or Leo? Y'all know what the answer is.
You know too.
Stop playing me.
You know Leonidas.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Not Leonidas. Not Leonidas. He can never play himself. That's what's cool about that name.
Because he's already been played, yeah. I'm gangster. You can't stop the motion that is.
All right. Somebody's gonna have to not be a rapper now.
Are we doing an episode on rap? Are we gonna really bring it to the table?
Because I told you, everybody and their mother's a rapper.
Including us?
Every single person on the planet feels they're a rapper.
Get it. What's good? We are at that time again?
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, no, I did. It is coming to the end of a 95th episode of Woke and Free. Disastrous.
Yes, truly.
This was quite the episode discussing whether you can move from New York to Arizona in less than 5 days. The answer is listen to the episode and rewind if you did not get the deal. But it was really fun sharing our journey. And again, if you have questions, thoughts, comments, cries like our dog, please put that in the comment section at WokeNFree.com. And will I leave you hanging for what our next episode will be about? Drum roll, please.
On our next episode, we will be discussing, does having a pet make you a better human? If you are human.
I was not expecting that.
Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation. And make sure you tune in next week for Woke and Free Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
If you want to be a guest on the show, submit a topic for an upcoming episode, or share how you feel on our Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com. That is WokenFree.com. I'm like trying to rap.
All right, come on. You have to have a consistent flow at least.
See the hateration, guys? This is...
If you're going to change it up, you got to have some consistency with it. You can't just be random.
All right, I'll go back to how I normally speak then.
You're speaking like the Star Trek guy.
Oh, snap.
The William Shatner, I think. You're speaking like him. Will we be going into the space at this time? That's exactly how you're rapping. I mean, that's how he used to do his acting, so I don't know. That's kind of strange.
So you think I have like a chance?
To be on the Star Trek? Yeah. You could be on that, yeah.
CBS, what's good?
Yeah, you could be on the All Access.
All Access,
yeah,
what's
exactly.
good, CBS. We are very active on social media. You can totally hit us up on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Do you prefer that?
Well, at least it's authentic.
How wonderful. Calling all Valley girls.
Authentically insane. Yep.
It's obviously time to eat, guys. Hit us up on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Woke and Free. If you would like to sponsor an upcoming episode, contact us on our WokeNFree.com on our Contact Us page. And again, we consider all sponsorship endorsement deals. Feel free to just hit us up and share your thoughts and how you would like to collaborate with us.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for Woke and Free Wednesdays. Remember, Woke and Free is more than a podcast. It is a way of life. Until next time.